Canto by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada. So we are reading the chapter first, the Advent of Lord Krishna. Once the world was overburdened by the unnecessary defense force of the different kings, who were actually demons but were posting themselves as the royal order. At that time, the whole world became perturbed, and the predominating deity of this earth, known as Bumi, went to see Lord Brahma to tell of her calamities due to the demonic kings. So we see here that the Mother Earth became disturbed, and she approaches Lord Brahma for a solution. Bhumi assumed the shape of a cow and presented herself before Lord Brahma with tears in her eyes. So we can see here the earth also has its predominating deity, and she assumed the shape of a cow. She was bereaved and was weeping just to invoke the Lord's compassion. She related the calamitous position of the earth, and after hearing this, Lord Brahma became much aggrieved, and he at once started for the ocean of milk where Lord Vishnu resides. So after this, Lord Vishnu, he resides at the ocean of milk. So there Lord Brahma approaches. Lord Brahma was accompanied by all the demigods, headed by Lord Shiva, and Bhumi also followed. Arriving on the shore of the milk ocean, Lord Brahma began to pacify Lord Vishnu, who had formerly saved the earthly planet by assuming the transcendental form of a boar. The Lord Vishnu keep taking different incarnations, and like he took the incarnation of boar as Varadev, and he took as a Narsimhadev. So like that, Lord Vishnu takes incarnations and saves the earth and the devatas from the attack of demons and the other mischievous kings. In the Vedic mantras, there is a particular type of prayer called Purushukta. Generally, the demigods offer their obeisance unto Vishnu, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, by chanting the Purushukta. It is understood herein that the predominating deity of every planet can see the Supreme Lord of this universe, Brahma. So here we can see that whenever demigod they get any disturbances, they go to the Lord Brahma. And Lord Vishnu, they pacify by chanting the prayer called Purushukta. So all the demigods, including Lord Brahma, they chant the prayer called Purushukta to invoke the presence of Lord Vishnu. Whenever there is some disturbance on his planet, and Brahma can approach the Supreme Lord Vishnu not by seeing him directly, but by standing on the shore of the ocean of milk. There is a planet within this universe called Shvetadipa, and on that planet there is an ocean of milk. It is understood from various Vedic literatures that just as there is an ocean of salt water on this planet, there are various kinds of oceans on other planets. So there are many different kind of oceans in the this universe. Like in our Earth planet, we see the ocean of salt water. Somewhere there is an ocean of milk, somewhere there is an ocean of oil, and somewhere there is an ocean of liquor, and many other types of liquids. There are different types of oceans available, not just ocean of salt water. The Purushukta is the standard prayer which the demigod recite to appease the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Shirodaksha Vishnu. Because he is lying on the ocean of milk, he is called Shirodaksha Vishnu. He is the form of the Supreme Personality of Godhead through whom all the incarnations within this universe appear. So Shirodaksha Vishnu is the main deity of this universe. After all the demigods offered the Purushukta prayer to the Supreme Personality of Godhead, they apparently heard no response. Then Lord Brahma personally sat in the meditation, and there was a message transmission from Lord Vishnu to Brahma. Now this transmission of message happened directly in the heart. Brahma then broadcast the message to the demigods. That is the system of receiving Vedic knowledge. The Vedic knowledge is received first by Brahma from the Supreme Personality of Godhead through the medium of the heart. As it is stated in the beginning of Srimad Bhagavatam, Tene Brahma Hridaya Adi Kaviye. In Bhagavatam first shloka also it is said that how the Vedic knowledge is received. Vedic knowledge is received through the medium of heart. So it is revealed in the heart. And like to the Brahma, it is revealed by Lord Vishnu. The transcendental knowledge of Vedas was transmitted to Lord Brahma through the heart. Here also in the same way, only Brahma could understand the message transmitted by the Lord Vishnu, and he broadcast it to all the demigods for their immediate action. The message was this. So now what Lord Vishnu said the message, this is the translated here. The Supreme Personality of Godhead would appear on the earth very soon with his supreme powerful potencies. And as long as he remained on the earth planet to execute his mission of annihilating the demons and establishing the devotees, the demigods should also remain there to assist him. So now Lord Vishnu tells all the demigods through Lord Brahma, all demigods should go and take birth in a Yadu dynasty. Because Lord is very soon coming, he will take his birth and he will accomplish his mission of killing the demons and protecting the devotees. So they should all immediately take birth in the family of Yadu dynasty, wherein the Lord would also appear in due course of time. Supreme Personality of Godhead Krishna would personally appear as the son of Vasudeva. Before his appearance, all the demigods, along with their wives, should appear in the different pious families in the world just to assist the Lord in executing his mission. Now Lord request all the demigods, please go and take your birth so that you all can take part in my Leelas. So if we become pious and if we become like demigods, so then Lord also plan soon in future to invite us in his Leela. So that we can see from this past time also. How Lord is telling all the demigods to go and take birth in a different pious families so that they can take part in his Leela. So many times we are worried when we'll see the Leela of the Lord, when we'll get entry. So here is the answer is given, hint is given. If we become pious and if we follow the Lord's instructions, then what happens? In the future, Lord will give chance for us to enter in his Leela. The exact word used here, the tat priyartham, which means the demigods should appear on the earth in order to please the Lord. In other words, any living entity who lives only to satisfy the Lord is a demigod. So if we also want to become demigod, then here the direction is given. We should live only to satisfy the Lord. The demigods were further informed that Ananta, the plenary portion of the Lord Krishna, who is maintaining the universal planets by extending his millions of hoods. So Anantadev, he has millions of his hoods. He's called Sheshnag also, who would also appear on the earth before Lord Krishna's appearance. So this is told about Lord Balram, how Balramji will also appear before Lord Krishna. They were also informed that the external potency of Vishnu, Maya, with whom all the conditioned souls are enamored, would also appear by the order of Supreme Lord just to execute his purpose. So here all the predictions are given that Balramji will appear, Lord Krishna will appear, and the Maya Devi, that also will appear. So now as we see that Devaki will be married to the Vasudeva, and then 8 children will be born. After instructing and pacifying all the demigods, as well as Bumi, with sweet words, Lord Brahma, the father of all Prajapatis or progenitors of the universal population, departed for his own abode, the highest material planet called Brahmalok. So when Brahmaji prayed to Lord Vishnu, and then Vishnu, he told that how I will appear, I will take incarnation. Then all the demigods and everybody went, they got happy. They thought now Lord is coming, and they started preparing themselves to take birth in the Yadu dynasty. So now you see all the people in Yadu dynasty, so they were incarnation of demigods. The leader of the Yadu dynasty, King Shursen, like the leader was Shursen, was ruling over the country known as Mathura. Wherein lies the city of Mathura as well as the district known as Shurasena, which was named after him on account of On account of the rule of the king Shurasena, Mathura became the capital city of all kings of the Yadus. Mathura was also made the capital of kings of Yadu dynasty because the Yadus were a very pious family and knew that Mathura is the place where Lord Sri Krishna lives eternally, just as he also lives in the Dwaraka. So Mathura and Dwaraka are the places where Lord Krishna lives eternally. Always. That's why people go and do visit there, because Mathura and Dwaraka there is a Lord Krishna's home forever. It is an eternal home. Once upon a time, Vasudeva, son of Shurasena, just after marrying Devaki, was going to home on his chariot with his newly wedded wife. The father of Devaki, known as Devaka, had contributed a sufficient dowry because he was very affectionate toward his daughter. He had contributed hundreds of chariots completely decorated with gold equipment. So now we can see that how uh, Devak, the father of the Devaki, he has contributed enough dowry. Because they were kings, they had enough. At that time, the Kamsa, the son of Ugrasena, in order to please his sister Devaki, had voluntarily taken the reins of the horses of Vasudeva's chariot and was driving. So now we see how the pastime starts. Kansa, he takes the chariot and he was himself driving to leave Devaki and Vasudeva. According to the custom of the Vedic civilization, when a girl is married, the brother takes the sister and brother-in-law to their home. Because the newly married girl may feel too much separation from her father's family, the brother goes with her until she reaches her father-in-law's house. The full dowry contributed by Devaka was as follows: 400 elephants fully decorated with golden garlands, 15,000 decorated horses, and 1,800 chariots. He also arranged for 200 beautiful girls to follow his daughter. The Kshatriya system of marriage, still current in India, dictates that when a Kshatriya is married, a few dozens of brides, young girlfriends, in addition to the bride, go to the house of the king. The followers of queen are called maid servants, but actually they act as the friends of the queen. This practice is prevalent from the time immemorial, traceable at least to the time before the advent of Lord Krishna, 5,000 years ago. So Vasudeva brought home another 200 beautiful girls along with his wife Devaki. So now all this dowry came with the Vasudeva. While the bride and bridegroom were passing along the chariot, there were different kind of musical instruments playing to indicate the auspicious moment. There were conch shells, bugle, drums, and kettle drums. Combined together, they were vibrating a nice concert. So all these were making very nice musical sound. The procession was passing very pleasingly, and Kamsa was driving the chariot, and Kans was taking the chariot. When suddenly there was a miraculous sound vibrated from the sky, which especially announced to the Kamsa, Kamsa, you are such a fool. You are driving the chariot of your sister and brother-in-law, but you do not know that the head child of the sister will kill you. Now came this Akashvani, from the sky there is an announcement happened that Kamsa, you will be killed. So as soon as Kamsa hears this, he become very fearful, and he will now ready to kill the Devaki. So Kamsa was son of Ugrasena, the Bhoja dynasty. It is said that Kamsa was the most demoniac of all the Bhoja dynasty kings. Immediately after hearing the prophecy from the sky, he caught hold of the Devaki's hair and was just about to kill her with his sword. Vasudeva was astonished at the Kamsa's behavior, and in order to pacify the cruel, shameless brother-in-law, he began to speak as follows, with great reason and evidence. He said, my dear brother-in-law, Kamsa, you are the most famous king of the Bhoja, and people know that you are the greatest warrior and a valiant king. How is it that you are so infuriated that you are prepared to kill a woman who is your own sister at this auspicious time of her marriage? Now Kamsa want to kill the Devaki, but now Vasudeva, he tried to save. So why should we use so much afraid of the death? Death is already born along with your birth. So now Vasudeva will tell him the philosophy of death and birth, because Kansa, after fearful of death, he wanted to kill the Devaki. Death is already born along with your birth. From the very day you took your birth, you began to die. Suppose you are 25 years old, that means you have already died 25 years. Every moment, every second you are dying. So he tells Kamsa that how death is always happening. So like this philosophy will go on now. The next session will continue the